Hi everybody, welcome to the Actors Academy. So today, before we get into this video, I wanted to tell you guys about the 10-hour acting course that I just recently released, and I'll make this quick. The 10-hour acting course I created for actors who are committed and dedicated and who want to get better. So I put everything that I know, everything that I've learned, and only the essential things. I've mentioned to all of you before how when you go to an acting class or an acting school, you're going to learn a lot of nonsense, things that you do not need. But I went and I learned from people who went to Juilliard, Harvard, Yale, RADA, ACT, who went to all these great places, who were great actors, and I really put together everything that was vital and essential. Anything that was useless or non-needed or made the work slow, I just threw out. I didn't even put it into the course at all. I only put the things that you need to know. And it's not just that for how to build believable characters or how to get into the character. It's also talking about how to interact with the agent, the director, the casting director, how to interact with other actors, how to put yourself in the best position to achieve success. Now, if it sounds like something you want, I'm going to leave it in the description below. I'm going to have a link so you guys can click on it. You guys can read and see, hey, is it something you want to do? Is it something you don't want to do? Remember though, it's only for committed actors. So if you're someone who you think isn't really that committed to acting or really wanting to get better or trying to get out of a bind that you're in, if you're not in that situation and you don't want that, then the course isn't for you. But if you are dedicated and you are someone who wants to get better at your acting and seeing what you can do with it, then this course will be really good for you. Right now, I have the course at an affordable price, so for whoever wants it can have access to it right now. As we go along though, it definitely is going to go up. So I want all of you to realize that if you want to get it, now is going to be the best time to get it, because it is going to go up and up and up. I'll try and keep it affordable as possible, but this is also information that you're not going to get anywhere else. So the price is going to start to go up. So just to realize that. And to also know that I don't want you guys to lose any money. I want you to get your money's worth. So there is a 30-day grace period. So when you do buy the course, if you decide, hey, it's not your thing, you're not into it, and you'll be able to decide pretty quickly. You can say, okay, this is something that I don't want, and you can return it. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not like when you go to an acting class and you find out, oh, you don't like the class, but you can't get your money back. For this one, you have the class and you can get your money back. And if you decide that you do like it and you do want to keep it, you have it for a lifetime supply. You don't have to ever get rid of it. You can have it forever. So it's just something to think about and something to decide upon. And there, it's going to be talking about physicality. It'll actually be going more in depth and talking much more about it. But today, we're going to have a brief skim of physicality and how you can start to use it a little bit into your work. But again, if you want a more in-depth version, along with many other things, then go ahead and go to the link and you'll be able to get all of that access for yourself. Okay, so here's the thing that we have to first realize with physicality. Is physicality vital? The answer for that would be yes. The next question is, do most people know how to use their physicality? That answer is an easy no. So we know that we need it. We know that it's necessary, but we have to make it something that people realize how to get into the physicality, how to do it. So first thing to realize is that we, in our everyday lives, are using physicality. Me sitting here, I'm having a physicality while I'm talking to all of you. When you're watching me right now doing this video, you guys are all having a physicality. Maybe you're sitting at your couch and you're watching on your computer, however you're sitting, however your head's angled, wherever your weight is, you are having some sort of physicality while watching this. Or if it's on your phone, you have some sort of physicality. And you can right now just pay attention to it for a moment and see what are you actually doing. So realize what you're doing is actually pretty darn perfect, because you're not having to think or decide, what do I do? Do I have to do this crazy movement here or do something really random or weird here? It's nothing like that. Physicality is supposed to be something that comes naturally, not something that is forced. If it's forced, it's not going to seem very comfortable, very real. It has to be something that's natural. It's kind of like an example if you've ever gone out with somebody before and you kiss them. You can't plan, oh, I'm going to kiss you like this, and then, oh, I'm going to do this, and then do this, and then do this. It's just a natural thing that flows between two people. You can't really decide this is exactly what's going to happen, because you never know what's going to happen in the scene. You never know what a director is going to say. You just never know. Or it's like a basketball game. If there's a basketball player and he decides, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go and have my ball and I'm going to run all the way here and then I'm going to slam dunk it in. Well, okay, that's great to have, but you can't make it so concrete and such 100% because you never know, you may have to change. While you're going that direction, someone may get in your way and you're gonna have to go around, or you're gonna have to pass the ball to somebody else. So you have to realize that physicality is something that can be fluid, it is something that can change, and it is something that is vital for us to have in our work. So physicality is the thing that changes all of our characters. When we are creating a character, most of the time it's going to be with our natural voice. Now, there will be times when you will have to change your voice. You will have to make it higher, lower, faster, slower, whatever. But physicality is going to be one of the things that's going to be used much more when changing from one character to the next. So one of the best ways to find out how to change your physicality, or what you can do to become a new person per se, is to really watch other people. They say people watching is one of the most important things that you can do as an actor, and it's true. If you can literally go to the mall, sit down, and just watch everyone going by and just see what their physicality is. It's not a physicality that's trying to be forced, it's just a natural physicality that they're able to have. And we want to make sure when we're putting on a physicality that it's not a forced physicality, because if we're forcing something, for example, if someone had to, say, have their shoulder raised for their character, they decide, okay, I'm going to have my shoulder raised. Well, okay, that's what they decide upon, but they can't just walk around like this. It's very forced. It'll look super fake if someone walks around and they're like, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. It'll look very forced. Now, if your physicality was like this, it's going to have to change many other areas of your body, because sure, you can find some people in the world where their physicality, their shoulders up really high. And in those circumstances, one of the best things you can do is really do your research and find someone whose shoulder is actually like this, so you can find what else in their body is positioned in a certain way. Because if I only do this, which most actors would do, they would only lift their shoulder up and not change anything else, it'll look really weird, it'll look random, it won't fit at all for whatever character you're trying to create. But now let's say I'm gonna have my shoulder raised, but it's very slight. It's just, maybe it's something like this. It's nothing that's being forced, it's just, it's a little bit more raised. But if I'm doing this, it's very forced. So you have to make sure that when you're doing your physicality, that it is something that comes across more naturally. Because when it's forced, that's when we realize it's fake. And once we see that it's fake, then we don't believe it anymore. So if you go into an audition and you have some sort of physicality, and it seems fake to the casting director, it seems very put on, well, they're not gonna want you for the part, because they're gonna say, okay, this guy's gonna come onto set and he's just gonna look really weird and not fit the characters at all. So you have to make sure that physicality is something that we have that's more natural in ourselves. And again, if you are gonna have something that's gonna be very extreme, you have to find out how does that affect the rest of your body. Now, I can't give a specific for every single type of physicality, because there's so many that you can have. There's so many nuances that you can change. One person may have their shoulder up and they adjust their whole body to fit it. And that person, when they're doing their character, may be a little faster. But maybe when you do it, it'll be the exact same thing, but your shoulder will be up and you move a little bit slower. So it just depends on the person, the individual, and the character that you're trying to create, and in the world that you're trying to create it in. Because that does have a huge effect on how we play with our physicality, what we decide to do, how we create our characters. So realize that it does have to be natural. It is extremely, extremely vital for our acting. It's one of the most important things that we can have. And it changes with each character that we create. And it changes when we're in the scene, because we don't know what's going to be coming at us. We have to be able to adjust. Just like a basketball player, when he's playing against another team, he can't just say, I'm going to do this 110%. He's going to, sure, try that. But if something gets in his way, or something stops him, or something maybe slows him down a little bit, that basketball player will have to adjust. And that's what we will have to do also. We can't have our physicality be so rigid. It has to be something that is fluid, that we can use and move with. So just realize all that. Those points are some of the most important things that you can realize and remember with your acting. One of the things I would suggest for all of you is to literally get out a notebook and write this down, or write it in your phone just so you have it. So next time when you have a character and you have to do the physicality, you have something to go back to and draw off of. Now, as always, guys, just remember that The course is available right now. You guys can go to it. I'll leave the link in the description so you can get more details on physicality and a bunch of other things. Remember, it's a whole finished 10-hour course. So that's all for you. If you guys have any other suggestions of videos that you would like or questions at all, leave them in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with everything. So I'll see you guys all next time. Bye guys.